I take my rightful place at the head of the table. Believe that.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcast network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod. This is usually a time, gentlemen, where the WWE kind of hits a little bit of a lull for a few months until it kind of goes back up to SummerSlam. But we've only been away from WrestleMania for 3 weeks now. We've already had one pay-per-view, premium live event, thank you very much. And now we've got matches for Saturday night's main event. Looks like we're going to keep this train rolling a little bit, aren't we, Rod?
I personally like the Saturday night's main events. I think that they should still think the benefits they can get from big networks, right? Over-the-air TV does still exist. There are still people that tune into television just through things they can pick up through rabbit ears they buy at various stores. So, showing up on those televisions, I think, is still beneficial to the WWE. I think it gives it a big event feel, right? We all understand what Peacock is, but there's still, and maybe it's just because I'm old, but there's still something cool about being on NBC on Saturday night. You know what I mean? So I think it's a big deal. I appreciate that they're trying to cook something special up for us. I don't appreciate that the cook up has to involve Phil, but it is what it is.
You love Phil so much. Chris, Backlash was last weekend. It had 5 matches. It was over. Central Time was over by like 9 o'clock, I think. Fantastic. Loved it on a Saturday. Let's go. I could go out and I could go to sleep earlier. What'd you think of Backlash overall? And then we'll kind of go match by match.
I was enthralled the whole premium live event. All right,
I know which way you're going with that.
Right, but it wasn't necessarily because of anything that was happening. It was more or less what's going to happen with Cena and Orton, because we had talked about it on here, and I was really hoping something specific was going to happen, and there was a little hint that it might be happening, and so like there was that anticipation in me, the whole of Backlash until Cena versus Orton.
Jimmy, mark it down. Yeah. 31-10. All right. On this podcast, Chris officially became a wrestling podcaster because he just admitting to wanting his take to come true more than actually enjoying the wrestling on the premium live event. So he can no longer, Jimmy, come on here with this. You guys are the ones that know about wrestling. I'm just the fan. I don't have these takes. I don't fantasy book. I don't think about it the way you guys do. No more. To get an LA Knight quote. All right, no more. He literally.
You guys are still the professional fans.
Come through.
It was a good take, and it would have been fantastic to happen. And then you backed me up, and then I thought it was going to happen the way you said. He's going to walk out and get a 10 count, which they almost tried to do. Oh, it would have been great.
So once they started wrestling, a couple minutes in, I was like, man, they really should have done Chris's thing. I mean, they really should have. The match turned out okay. The first 85% of that match turned out to be pretty good, I thought. So much better than his WrestleMania match. So much better.
But that's a low bar.
Literally the lowest bar you can have in WrestleMania main events, okay? But at least they did some stuff around. However, that ending was ridiculous on every level. Can we have a match that doesn't have 15 ref bumps kicking out of every single finisher? No. I think Randy Orton did an RKO off the top of the stadium and Cena kicked out at 2. It was just a little much for me.
Did Triple H not really want to do the pedigree and he was forced to always do the pedigree? Was he mad about taking other people's finishing moves? Because he seems to be on a crusade to just completely do away with finishing moves, because as you said, we keep getting all of them wiped out, even on Raw and SmackDown matches between Otis and other mid-card people. We're getting finishers wiped out. I just don't understand it. John Cena now is only going to win matches by hitting people with the belt. That's ridiculous. And what I want to say overall about the premium live event known as Backlash in the Lou was I was pleasantly surprised. And then I was let down once again by the main event. And I got angry once again that we are here, that we have decided to put the belt on heel John Cena and not have a great story for it. We came on here, Jim, and tried to blame flying by the seat of our pants on The Rock. The Rock's not involved here. He hasn't been involved. This is all on Paul and John, and we're going nowhere, Jimmy.
Yeah, and they seem to be trying to do the same thing with Becky Lynch, blaming the fans as well. And the fans did not like that at all. They said, no, we're good on that. We don't need that. What? Speaking of Lynch, though, she and Lyra Valkyria had a terrific matchup. Loved every single second of that. And, Chris, they had a clean finish.
Yeah, listen, that was an exciting match. And that was what you expect when you have two great wrestlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. I loved it. I'm not really all that invested into this new Becky Lynch angle, so past that, I didn't really care.
Yeah, so, Rod, I was a little nervous about Becky Lynch coming back in for her first, huge matchup. I think she passed with flying colors.
Yeah, I'm not. We can't argue against Becky Lynch's bona fides, but you just reminded me of something else that I'm fired up about, Jim. Are we even allowed to have this podcast? Are we even allowed to be wrestling fans? Because all of these friggin' wrestlers are getting in the ring yelling at us. I mean, we got a few too many of them going on right now. Triple H is trashing us as interviewers with podcasters. Like, what's going on? Why are we being yelled at? What are we doing wrong other than the same thing that happens to NBA teams and NFL teams and baseball teams and actors and musicians that put out albums? People talk about them. If you want to play in the ring with the big boys, you're going to have to take some critiques every once in a while. Quit your crying. What's going on?
Yeah, it's kind of a wrestling trope to blame the fans when you turn heel, but it's an easy trope and it's kind of antiquated. So let's move on from that. We don't need to be doing that anymore. Let's try something different. Like, I don't know, I sold my soul to The Rock because I wanted more movie time or whatever. Hey, I sold, I turned on her because I've been at home. This is so much time people forget, I want to be the best, and to be the best, apparently you have to be a bad guy. So that's what Becky Lynch wants to do there. Listen, we're doing this just to talk to each other and have fun. We're not taking this that seriously. Okay. It's wrestling. Who the heck cares? Right. It's fun. Some people who throw things at John Cena was in the ring might take it a little too seriously. Okay. And then that's when you got to come.
That's
down.
fair. That's fair.
You guys were warning me about riots if they didn't have this match.
Oh yeah. There would have. Yeah. That main event. He walks out, 10 count. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. One match that we all like the people in it. I know Rod was very vocal on, can we do a little bit better with the people that are in it? But Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre had a terrific opener for about 18 minutes when Jacob Fatu defeated, of course, our boy. LA Knight took the pin on that one. I thought that was a terrific match overall, Chris.
Are we getting like a third bloodline here? They're bringing out new people that I've never seen before. What's going on?
So Jeff Cobb is, and we'll get to you, Rod, in a second. Jeff Cobb this is where Rod is serious, is a really solid wrestler, and he's very agile for his size. I think this is actually a really good way to bring him in because his name is Jeff Cobb. Okay. He looks just like a guy. But in the ring, he's really good. So if you put him in that bloodline or whatever you're going to call it with Solo, that's another thing to add to that friction with Jacob Fatu. So I do like that. Rod, I know Jeff Cobb is someone you've been following a lot in the Indies.
Listen, I'll get to the Jeff Cobb of it here in just a second, all right? But the first thing that I want to say is I jot down a couple of notes during every one of the matches, right? I'm old school that way. I got a little pad and paper next to me. I write down notes to make sure that I try to get to these points when we have our time together on this podcast because I love it so, all right? And what I wrote down in this match, and I believe I may have even texted it, is Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre just forever taking crazy bumps for our entertainment. Like, that's what I took away from that match.
We forgot about that.
Like, both of those dudes,
it seems like
just forever, like their backs are incredibly strong. Like they're just like, yep, I'll do that. Yep, I'll try that. You can hit me with that. You know what I mean? Like it's just I feel bad sometimes for not. I like Drew a lot. I really kind of just give him guff to have a thing going back and forth with Chris. I really actually kind of like Drew McIntyre. I think he's really, really, really good at what he does. I think Damian Priest is also really, really good at what he does, but I don't really care about him at all. And that kind of bumps me out sometimes when I see him have great matches like that.
Well, and it seems that McIntyre might have hit his head on that table spot, but apparently he was okay, so that's good. Chris,
It's always tough. Okay, so this hasn't happened really since I got back into wrestling, but it was tough seeing LA and Drew end up having to fight each other. I know it's going to happen, right? And it's going to be difficult for me. And I wanted
your brothers.
I wanted both of them to win so badly. I really want that belt back on LA Knight. Yeah. I think Drew needs a bigger belt, but that's really what it was. It was a great match. I loved every minute of it, except for how it ended with Fatu still with the belt.
All right, so the Jeff Cobb of it all. The Jeff Cobb of it all, Jimmy. First off, let me say, love this for Solo Sikoa. I think Solo has showed us that his best speed is let me kind of be smooth with it. Let me kind of have other people do my dirty work. I think that's actually when he's been at his best. When he was first back and running that new bloodline, that's when I thought he was his most charismatic, when I cared about him the most. So let him have somebody do his dirty work. And I have done my homework and saw that one all gas, no brakes with it. Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb have had their share of absolute bangers, and that Jeff Cobb can do some crazy athletic stuff, and that Jeff Cobb would like nothing more than for the Jeff Cobb name to be cool and searchable on YouTube. But Jeff Cobb, my guy, you're an entertainer, okay? If you were in movies, every single agent you would have coming up through the business would talk to you about possibly changing your name and not being Jeff Cobb. So why not do the same thing in an entertainment business like professional wrestling? I'm sorry, my guy. Jeff Cobb sounds like a guy that I want doing my taxes, defending me when I got to go to traffic court, you know what I mean? Or being the weatherman on the local news that I watch. It doesn't sound like a dude that I think is going to go in the ring and meet up with Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf.
I get a completely different picture. When you mentioned his name, Jeff Cobb, I think of a big corn-fed guy that works at the feed mill, right? Maybe has some of that remedials type strength.
What's a feed mill?
Actually, I think we have those here in Kentucky, but what's a feed at the feed mill? Down at the 5 and dime store, you know? Get a soda.
The only thing I know about a 5 and dime is that Bryan Adams bought his first real 6-string at one in the summer of '69.
Which apparently Chris thinks it still is. The number one babyface in the company, Dominic Mysterio, defeated Penta by pinfall. It looks like we're heading down the maybe Penta versus Mysterio. I don't know. A mask versus hair. Give it up for Dom. Who the heck knows? I don't know. Rod.
Jimmy, you started out so excited. You started out so excited to try to sell the Dominic Mysterio.
Like, I've said this for
was the company's number one babyface, and you couldn't even finish the take. You couldn't even finish the take yourself.
I'm tired. I can't. But he is. Like, people love him now. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah, but people love him.
He's a genius.
Penta. I think
yeah.
We have so many ways and angles that we can play right now with the way that they've brought in Grande, and the way that we have Angel and Berto, and the way that we have Andrade, and we got Penta, and we got Phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, we have so many things that are percolating, and as much as the luchador gets on my nerves a little bit, I'm starting to buy into it, because at least these guys are giving us something, right? These are matches where these dudes are going after it. We're seeing action, so more of it. Let's go. And if El Grande is going to dominate the luchador scene, which he seems to be doing right now, I'm all in on that gimmick.
And then finally, Gunta defeated our boy Pat McAfee by choking him out.
Man, we need to talk about this match.
Okay, go ahead.
What did we get here? Like, who got served by this match? Did Pat McAfee somehow get more over? Did Gunther get more over? Did Gunther look good for beating Pat McAfee? Did Pat McAfee look good for sort of hanging in for Gunther? Like, in the end, okay, Pat wrestled it fine. We can have another reason to pat McAfee on the back. He seems to love that an awful lot, because he's quick to fire out at people that seem to not be congratulating him. So maybe it's the WWE that felt like they had to do that for him, but I don't know who was served by this match at all. Not that I was against the match, but like I'm just left thinking that, Jimmy, more than anything else.
So, and I'll get your opinion on this too here in a second, because I do value a wrestling fan first opinion. But I think that you needed to get Gunther. You need to put Gunther back into a really bad guy in a force after the loss to Jey Uso, because he did tap out. I mean, that was huge, right? So you put him in with Pat McAfee, who people love. You never have the match in doubt. You know, he really kind of took the whole match. It wasn't a squash. McAfee had a couple things here and there, but it was never really in doubt. So it gives him that, like, hey, I beat up Pat McAfee. You're golden boy. McAfee, it does give him a little bit of, hey, you stood in there with them. You didn't tap out. You know, you had to be knocked unconscious for the match to be over. So, and remember, it wasn't like a main event. It was a mid-card matchup. So I think it served its purpose and did what it needed to do in that case. As you saw, Gunther's going to go for the championship in, I don't know, a few months. I can't remember when it is. Chris.
I would have bought that, Jimmy, if there wasn't some sort of weird respect shake thing at the end, right? Like, if you're wanting to make Gunther the ultimate heel, he chokes out Pat, maybe threatens Michael Cole again and walks out. Doesn't do the mutual respect. You don't have Pat and Michael Cole talking about like, hey, Gunther's back in our good graces again. Like, we respect what he does in the ring type of crap that happened on Raw, right? They went nowhere with this. It was almost like they were filling somebody's contractual obligations.
Thank you. See, look at that. Jimmy, Chris, and I uniting on something here, man. Like, I'm totally with you, Chris. The shake at the end, like, what is that? That's just, again, you're kissing McAfee's ass. Like, and sorry, I know you guys like him. I hate that I always have to be the one taking shots at McAfee, but we got to get debate on this podcast somehow. Like, I don't get it.
I liked the match until that, right? Like, I was here watching it, and every time Pat got thrown across the ring or got just knocked down hard, it made me laugh and chuckle. Like, I was enjoying myself. So, like, everything was working out perfect until that weird ending and then the Monday Night Raw thing.
Okay. Let's hit Raw just real quick here, and then we'll get out of here. But AJ Styles and Finn Balor, the crowd deserved. They needed to be better for that match. That was a fantastic match. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, love that. Rod, Becky Lynch. We talked a little bit about it. Blaming the fans. The fans gave her the what treatment. She got a little frazzled, with that. It's because people are sick of it.
Yeah, but you know what people still should be more sick of is the what chance. Like, we gotta.
Oh yeah.
The what chance need to be done with, because people then want to be cool and think that they hijack other stuff that the what chance don't deserve to, right? Like, sure, Becky Lynch should have been wanted for that storyline because it's tired and we have too many other storylines where fans are getting yelled at right now. But I don't mind big time Bex. I don't mind a heel, right? I guess Charlotte Flair's involved in the same kind of situation, so maybe we're going to see a Mega Powers unite with those two, finding common ground in a premium live event, because they're both basically going to be on SmackDown and the other one on Raw doing the same thing. So I'm for that. And yes, drink at home if you had Rod finally brings it back to Charlotte Flair.
Well, you might drink at home with this. I think that'd be awesome. Putting those two together. Dream team. Bad
go.
Guys. Let's go.
Let's go. Mega Powers.
Go. Of course, as long as obviously Charlotte Flair's there.
There we go. Drink. Jimmy just made a Charlotte Flair availability joke.
Oh, we have CM Punk came out and called Paul Heyman a lot of bad names, and we had a big schmoz going on with all.
Who's scared of CM Punk anymore? Right? He can be taken down with one little low blow from Paul Heyman. You obviously can't put anybody to sleep anymore, CM Punk, because everyone keeps on getting up from him. So really, who are we even worried about anymore? Why is he even out there doing anything?
We should just straight up call him Phil when he comes in the ring now. What are we even talking about here?
Well, Phil and Sami Zayn are going to go against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker.
Who cares?
Whoa! Damn!
Wait, what is... I don't...
God,
I know you love...
CM Punk.
I know you like Sami Zayn, right? I get it.
Oh, no, Chris.
I haven't...
We were swimming
I haven't enjoyed Sami Zayn since he got too Usi for the bloodline, all right? So So this does not move the needle for me at all. It's still Phil and somebody I'm not interested in.
You got to clip out Chris saying too Usi from the bloodline, Jimmy. We got to get that and use it against Chris at some point.
All right. Apparently, no one cares about the new faction of Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker going against Punk and Zayn.
No, listen, I do, but he distracted me with that.
No, it's Phil and some guy we don't care about. Apparently, well, guess what?
Wait a minute! Don't you wait a minute? No, how dare you try to lump me in with his take on Sami Zayn? I don't feel that way about
you and Chris
Sami
are best
Zayn.
buddies. You guys are always on the same page. No, it's Phil and some guy we don't care about. This redhead non-Usi guy.
I am all for the Rollins Heyman.
No, you said who cares? I was talking about the match. They're in the match. You don't care.
I was talking about Phil and his tag team partner, Sammy. I don't care. Yeah, but I'm all about Seth and this new little faction he's building. I love it.
Well, guess you know what? They're going to beat the guy you don't care about. So that's that. There's that.
Yeah, because he can't put anybody to sleep anyway.
No, Phil's not taking
the guy you
pin.
don't care about, Sami Zayn. The other guy's Phil.
Yeah.
Come on, get with the gimmick.
Phil's not taking the pin. No, it's going to be Sammy. But I'm Jimmy. No, how dare you? How dare you just try to lump me in with an anti-Sami Zayn take? You know better than that. The listeners know better than that. They've got lots of evidence of me sticking up for Sami Zayn on this podcast. That'd be like me trying to say that you had something bad to say about Johnny Gargano. Everybody know that was not
You
true.
watch your mouth.
See?
DIY is the greatest tag team ever. And then we have on Memorial Day weekend, Yeet versus YouTube. I don't know. Logan Paul and Jey Uso will go for the World Championship. There is no way Logan Paul wins this because it's Saturday night main event, right, guys?
We've already seen him do this on another Saturday night's main event. Wrestle the champ and not win.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page on that one.
We've only seen him win once for a belt, right? That's it. He hasn't ever successfully defended a belt, but he's won it once, right? He's won one belt once. Is that correct?
He had to have beaten
US
somebody as the U.S. champ. Jimmy did. That's a good call, though, Chris. I can't offhand think of him defending that belt. Did he honestly just win it and then just?
No, he beat somebody.
Are you sure he beat them, or was it some sort of disqualification where he still walks away with the belt?
Listen, again, Chris, you are now officially a wrestling podcaster, so you know that whether referee distraction or somebody from the outside, a pin is a pin, a win is a win.
No, not if they ring the bell and disqualify the match.
No one disqualifies anything. We only do what
do.
furthers the story. No, there's been plenty of times when they should have disqualified a match and they didn't. We only do what furthers the story.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. He only defended it twice since capturing it in 2023. He defended it at the Royal Rumble against Kevin Owens, and then at WrestleMania 40 in a triple threat match. Huh.
Who was in that triple threat match? Gable?
I think.
Was Gable in that match? No, Gable's never had a WrestleMania match before. Was Damian Priest in that match? McIntyre? Chris, was your boy Drew in that match?
Triple threat against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Night 2 of WrestleMania 40.
Orton was wrestling for the U.S. Championship. Wow. Oh yeah, because they were they were RKO at that point. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Jimmy, you've yawned a couple of times, and we've gotten you far off field, but I still think this was a successful episode.
Oh, this is a great episode of the We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcast Network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.
LA Knight, that's the top babyface in the company. How dare you say it's Dominic Mysterio?
Say his name, I believe.
He's not in the company.
Not a company man.
Yeah, he will be.